Welcome to Nirmaya Care, where health meets understanding. This video was originally published on nirmayacare.com. For an uncensored, ad-free version of this video and other health education content, visit nirmayacare.com.
So what if I told you that you have access to one of the most powerful medicines for your brain, and it doesn't come in a bottle? Today, we're explaining how exercise is exactly that. And we're not talking about losing weight or building muscle. This is all about the incredible impact movement has on our mental health. Let's dive in. Does this sound a little too familiar? That constant feeling of being stressed out, just mentally exhausted or completely overwhelmed by it all? You know, it's kind of the signature of modern life, right? But what if the fix is way simpler than we think it is? And look, I totally get it. When you're feeling down or drained, the very last thing you want to do is move. The couch is just calling your name. But stick with me here, because we're about to find out why just a little bit of movement might be exactly what your brain is crying out for. What if you could tap into a biological hack to feel better, like right now? The secret isn't out there in some new trend or expensive supplement. It's already inside of you. It's a whole system just waiting for you to flip the switch. So let's start by totally reframing how we think about exercise. Let's forget the idea that it's only for super serious athletes or that it's all about how you look. This is about giving your mind a serious upgrade. Let's just bust one of the biggest myths right now. We often get stuck thinking that exercise has to be this intense, grueling thing, like you have to spend hours in the gym. But the reality, it's so much simpler. Physical activity is any kind of bodily movement that uses energy. That 10-minute walk you took on your lunch break? Yep, that absolutely counts. Okay, to really understand how this all works, we need to meet the managers inside our brains. Think of them like a little team of hormones that are constantly running the show, directing our feelings, our motivation, and our stress levels. First up, we've got dopamine. This is our reward seeker. You know that little rush of satisfaction you get when you finally finish a task? That's dopamine. It's in charge of keeping us motivated and focused, and making effort feel really, really good. Next, let's meet serotonin, our mood stabilizer. When serotonin is doing its job, we just feel good, calm, happy, focused. It's working behind the scenes to keep our emotions on an even keel. Now for the one you've probably heard a lot about, cortisol, the stress manager. Now, it's not all bad. We actually need a little bit to wake up in the morning, but when there's way too much of it for way too long, well, that's what leads to that awful feeling of burnout, of just being completely stuck. And finally, we have endorphins. Think of these as your body's personal, all-natural painkillers. I mean, just think about that for a second. You have a built-in antidepressant system, literally designed by nature to reduce stress and boost your happiness. That's pretty amazing. Okay, so now that we've met our team of brain managers, let's see what actually happens when we get up and start moving. How does exercise put them to work for us? It's this simple but incredibly powerful chain reaction. The moment you start moving, blood flow to your brain increases. That extra blood flow triggers the release of something amazing called BDNF. And this little protein is so important because it helps strengthen your memories and learn new things. It's a direct physical upgrade for your brain. I love this way of thinking about it. BDNF is like fertilizer for your brain cells. Exercise literally helps you grow new brain cells while making your existing ones stronger and better connected. It's one of the most powerful things you can do to protect your brain as you get older. Okay, this is the really fun part. We know the science, so how do we actually use it? Let's open up the playbook on how to hack your own mood. Let's start with dopamine. Now, we all know there are those easy, bad ways to get a quick hit. You know, too much sugar, endless scrolling, but they always lead to a crash, right? The good sources, like yoga, jogging, or even just a brisk walk, give you a much healthier and way more sustainable feeling of reward. And what about our stress manager, cortisol? Well, the contrast here is pretty stark. On one side, you have things like chronic stress and not getting enough sleep that just keep those cortisol levels sky high. But on the other, you have these simple tools like getting enough sleep or trying meditation that can actively bring it right back down, helping you dodge that burnout. Okay. So you might be thinking, hold on a second. Endorphins, dopamine, they both make you feel good. Aren't they kind of the same thing? It's a great question. And while they work together, they have very different jobs. Let's clear it up. The classic runner's high is the perfect example. So you're finishing a run and your muscles are starting to ache. Endorphins are the first to show up, acting like that natural painkiller to ease the discomfort. Then, after the pain is managed, dopamine comes in to deliver that awesome feeling of accomplishment. So remember, endorphins handle the pain and dopamine brings the reward. So, what's the big takeaway from all this? It's that you absolutely do not need to make some massive, intimidating change to get all these amazing benefits. It's all about starting small and just being consistent. And look at some of these fantastic, sustainable options. Notice how accessible all of this is. We're talking about walking, cycling, yoga, even just dancing around your living room. The key is to find something you actually enjoy, because then it'll never feel like a chore. And how much time are we talking about? Just 30 to 45 minutes a day. That's it. That's all it takes to start putting your brain's incredible management team to work for you, creating a better mood, a sharper memory, and a whole lot less stress. It really all comes down to this simple but really powerful idea. It is often the small steps, not the giant leaps, that bring about the most lasting change. You don't need a total life overhaul. A single walk can be the start of everything. So the only question left is, what small step are you going to take today?